Um, can you tell me about yourself? You keep your video on.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Omkar and I previously worked with the BNY as a senior DevOps engineer, and as part of the roles and responsibility, I work in the migration related activity and tools have used like AWS, Git, Jenkins, CI/CD, and Terraform. And as part of the project, we are working in the migration related project where we need to migrate from on-premise to the AWS. So whatever documentation that we need to do, we need to prepare that document and we need to migrate that application to the AWS. And for other project, I work in the Terraform automation where I need to do the infrastructure automation of the AWS using the Terraform. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Mm.
So, do you have any experience in CI/CD pipeline?
Yes, Jenkins CI/CD.
Jenkins CI/CD.
Mm.
Okay. Can you explain the CI/CD pipeline?
Yes, so normally what happens in our project, we have the Jenkins pipeline that is used for the deployment, right from the building to the deployment. So as part of the pipeline, we have like checkout pipeline, then build pipeline, then we have the Sonar Cube analysis, then we have the Artifactory repository where it's a JFrog that we need to deploy the war or jar file, and then we have the deployment to the dev, QA, and then production environment. So it's like of all the pipelines are there in the Jenkins, and once code check-in has been completed, then it will go to that each pipeline and going to deploy to the environment.
So, what kind of project it was? You are deploying the CI/CD. On that CI/CD.
Hmm.
What kind of project it was?
Yeah, it's like
.NET or Java?
yeah, Java and .NET. Yeah, both.
Yeah, hi
Java and
Santosh.
.NET.
Hi Omkar.
Yeah, hi Chetan.
Yeah, hi.
So, can you explain the CI/CD pipeline in detail? I mean, what are the stage CI/CD pipeline? How integrating your CI/CD pipeline with the code repository?
Okay, so first of all, we have the checkout pipeline. So we use a Git as a Git repository. So we need to do the Git checkout in the first pipeline. Then we are going to build. So we are using the MS build to going to build the particular project. And once build has been completed, we are going to do the Sonar Cube analysis using the Sonar Cube. Then once Sonar Cube analysis has been completed, we have the artifactory like a JFrog artifactory where we are going to deploy that zip file or the jar or war file. And once that has been completed, then we are going to deploy to the specific server. Yes.
Okay. So, what is GitHub? I mean, what is webhook?
Webhook is like basically action that we need to integrate with the other tools that we are going to integrate.
Like how your CI/CD pipeline is integrated with the GitHub?
We have the GitLab, so in that has been integrated, and as part of the GitHub, we have the webhook. So we need to configure the webhook. In that webhook, we need to pass the Jenkins URL, and once configuration has been set up in the Git, in the Jenkins or in the Git Jenkins, so we need to set up that Git URL as a configuration using that plugin. And once plugin has been installed, we need to add that specific URLs.
So let's say now your CI/CD pipeline,
Hmm.
uh, developer has been done the changes. He raised the PR request,
Mhm.
and PR has been reviewed by the reviewer. Now, what will happen after?
So once PR request has been created, the other team members we are going to review that particular request, and once PR has been approved, it will going to approve and it will going to start the pipeline.
So once a pipeline has been built,
Mm.
what will happen after that?
As per the stages that what we have mentioned.
Are those stages? What is the next stage you have configuring your CI/CD pipeline after the build?
I think I explained the two times. Let me repeat one more time. So we have the like checkout, build, then Marvin like we need to do the Sonar Cube analysis, then Artifactory repository, and then deployment.
Until deployment. I'm next stage only. I'm asking you the next stage after the build. What is that?
After that, we have the sonar cube analysis.
Sonar cube analysis. Okay. So what sonar cube analysis will do?
So basically, with the sonar cube, whatever vulnerability related threats are there, that can be analyzed and it will generate the report. And we have, based on that, it will going to confirm it, and based on that, we are going to go to the next stage.
So sonar cube, what it does actually? What is the purpose of sonar cube?
It's for the vulnerability scanning. If there is an issue with the code, it will do the scan and it will generate the report, and we can able to understand that report on the sonar cube dashboard.
Okay. So so one sonar cube found some vulnerabilities and found some code,
Mhm,
depending on code suggestions.
mhm.
So what will happen in the CI/CD pipeline
Yeah, so we have
if
the
it has given some vulnerability
mhm,
checks?
mhm.
So you do after that.
Yes, we have the condition in the Jenkins pipeline, like whatever sonar cube analysis report that pipeline will going to generate. We have the threshold limit has been set. Like in the sonar cube, we have the quality gates are there. If quality gate is passed, then only we are going to the next stage. If it's not passed, then it will going to fail and it will not go to the next stage.
So if it is failed, then what will be your plan of action?
We need to check the whatever reports as per the sonar cube, and we need to resolve that issues, and then only we are able to process.
So who is going to change that?
Yeah, as part of the developer, if it's related with the developer related issues, then developer will going to fix that issue. If it is related some network or connectivity or infrastructure related issue, then we need to going to work on that.
Okay, so DevOps team will work on that, right?
Hmm.
And if it is a code related, so okay, so developer has fixed those whatever the changes suggested by SonarQube.
Mhm.
Now what will happen after that?
Then if it will going to get to the next stage.
Is that next stage?
Hmm.
Is that next stage?
Which is the next
Am I
step
audible to?
after that? Omkar?
Yes, I am audible. Actually, I explained the same time, actual three times. I'm not able to understand what
No, no,
exact expectation.
I'm asking you step by
Actually, we
step
are
now. I'm not asking you the complete workflow now. I'm trying to understand one by one. That's why I'm asking you the next stage only. So you should tell only what is the next stage.
okay. So once a sonar cube analysis has been done, we are going to do our artifactory. So artifactory deployment, it's like a JFrog. We are going to integrate the JFrog, and in that JFrog, the whatever code is there, it is going to like wrap up in a bundle, and it will going to deploy to the JFrog server.
And where is the test unit test happens? Test phase,
Uh,
testing,
yeah, just
unit
before that
testing.
one. Yeah, just before that one.
So that is what I asked. What is the next stage?
Okay.
What will happen in the test phase?
So whatever unit related, unit test case related there, it will going to do the testing analysis in that in that pipeline.
So once unit test cases run,
Mhm,
it found some test cases as failing.
mhm.
What will be the DevOps? What will be your plan of action?
So as part of the code, if it is like minor changes, if we are able to fix from the DevOps side, then we are going to fix and we are going to run again the same pipeline. If it is not any related to fix by the code itself, like some code related changes that a developer will fix, then he will fix them, and then we are going to run the that test case again.
So it is fixed now. Test cases has been successful. What will be the next? What will be the next stage now?
The next step will be the deployment. So in the deployment, whatever environment has been set like dev UAT production, it will go. We need to mention the specific path for the particular server, and it will go into that to deploy the particular project.
So where is that path mentioned? Environment.
In the Jenkins configuration itself. So we have the whatever plugin that has been related with like if it is a on-premise related environment, we need to configure that URL, domain name, and IP address. And if it is AWS related, AWS plugin we are going to connect, and whatever IP address that we need to configure, and whatever source and destination we will going to mention in the pipeline.
So after deployment, what will, as a DevOps, what will be your roles and responsibility
We
after
need to do
deployment?
the monitoring and analysis. So whatever issue after deployment we need to check and we need to support and we need to fix the issue as early as possible.
So what are those tools you are
Yeah, we are
using for
using the
monitoring?
Prometheus, App Dynamics, and Muxa alerts.
And do you have any experience in resource provisioning?
Resource provisioning, yeah, as a part of the ISC, we are using the Terraform.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So can you explain me your project architecture? How your so, IS has been set up?
Yeah, so as part of the Terraform, we have the project that need to build from the scratch. So in that, we need to create the full-fledged environment in the AWS. So whatever TF file are needed, we need to generate. So it like structure contains like multiple folder, each related with a specific domain or so, a specific area in the AWS itself. Like one is the main.tf, then we have the folder like network related folder, server like computer related folder is there, database related separate folder is there, and each folder and there is one more like variables related folders are there. So it will contain the variables .tf file, and each folder will contain the like networking related whatever network related VPCs are there, subnet are there, we are creating the separate files are there. And in the EC2 also for resources also there is a separate folder and separate file will be there, and that resource we need to mention like suppose if it is related with the EC2 file we need to mention ec2.tf, and whatever EC2 related structure is there we need to mention that particular one. And once whole infrastructure is ready we are going to use the Terraform related commands like Terraform init, apply, plan, and once that infrastructure will done then it will going to create the infrastructure in the AWS.
So what is the architecture of your infrastructure
I think I explained
is
the
set up?
same.
Architecture, I'm asking you.
No, not able to
I
explain.
mean, your VPC architect, your VPC architecture. What was the where is your application set up? Where is your database set up?
No, not able to explain.
So Chetan, do you have any questions? You can carry.
Hello.
Hello.
Ah,
Yeah. Onkar, have you done any SFDC pipeline? You
SF,
have done
SFDC?
regarding the Salesforce.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Santosh. Hello.
yeah, yeah. So in your resume, you have mentioned Kubernetes and infrastructure automation. So what is Kubernetes and how did you use it?
As part of the Kubernetes, it's like just started in the previous company. So as a, I don't have much hands-on in the Kubernetes. So if required, I can explain the architecture of the Kubernetes.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah, so as part of the Kubernetes, it's like a control plane and the node plane or the application plane is there. So basically, Kubernetes has used to do the deployment, whatever containers are there that can be deployed easily on the Kubernetes. So we have the kubectl with that it will going to create whatever infrastructure and whatever setup that has been required to install or connect that particular pods or nodes. So that can be used for the Kubernetes. So with that once infrastructure has been set up it's contain the nodes, so it's basically one cluster that contain the node pool. We can say it has one or two as per the requirement, and if we can say it's a replica, so minimum we can set as a two and maximum as per the requirement, so that in if there is an issue for the particular pod it will going to up and running other pod continuously, so there is not a downtime happen for the particular infrastructure. And there is also like API Explorer is there that can be used for the communication between the that particular pod like application plane and the control plane.
And where did you use Docker?
Docker is just for the like Kubernetes and Docker are used in the combination to test like how container technology has been work and how we are going to efficiently use that container in the Kubernetes and the Docker.
So you said infrastructure automation. What kind of infrastructure automation you did?
Yeah, Terraform, using the Terraform whatever infrastructure that we need to create that has been created using the Terraform.
Hmm. Have you set up your any application from the scratch?
Yes, infrastructure related like Terraform that has been created from the
Mm.
scratch. So it's like a there is a new project has been come and we need to set up the whole infrastructure of the AWS. So we need to create that Terraform files from the scratch.
So have you done any automation as a DevOps? What was the that process you did you automate it? And can I explain what
Yes. So DevOps
things
is
have
like
you been
automation.
used?
Yeah, automation means like whatever things that we can able to automate that has been done like infrastructure automation. So whatever if you need to do the multiple resource creation using AWS consider it time consuming process. So for that Terraform can be used as automation purpose to do the creation of that resources using the infrastructure. And once and also in the Jenkins related project we have the CI/CD that can also consider as a automation. So whatever once code has been committed it will going to deploy to within the pipeline within fraction of second it will going to build and deploy. So it's kind of automation.
Any other process? Whatever was there manual and you created. I mean you
Okay.
did it the automation in that part.
Hmm.
Do you have any example of it?
Yeah. One is related with the AWS Lambda function. So in that, what happens? We have the one S3 bucket that contain the older logs. What we need to do monthly, we manually need to open that particular logs check, and we need to move this to the another S3 bucket like S3 Glacier. So for that, a Lambda function has been written that can be automatically trigger and get the object from the one source S3 to deposit to the destination S3.
What language did you use in developing the
Yeah, it's a Python
Lambda
Boto
function?
3. Yeah, it's a Python Boto 3 library has been used.
So, what is Lambda function actually? What is Lambda service of AWS?
Yeah, so if you like to do some automation related with some resources, or if you need to fetch some particular information, so with Lambda function, it can be written in any language. And once that information or that code has been written in any particular language, we can able to connect to that particular resource and do some automation, do some extraction, and do some analysis, and we can able to get the result.
Okay. So, what is basically a AWS Lambda service? What is the benefit of it using? Why AWS Lambda? Why we cannot use any other AWS services instead of Lambda? What is the benefit of AWS Lambda using other services?
So as part like we have the combination of the resources that we need to integrate in each other, and based on some input we need to do some processing and result some output. So in that case, a Lambda function has been useful. So normally what happens if I like EC2 inside S3 bucket are there, if you need to do some connection establishment, do some operations, then Lambda function can be useful.
Is serverless?
Yes,
Is it Lambda is serverless, right?
yes.
So what is that?
So serverless is like means normally what happens if there is an application has been created, it should be deployed on the particular server. But Lambda, it's not like a based on the server. It doesn't require a server. It's a serverless. So whenever we are going to create, it should not be deployed. And doesn't need any server for the deployment.
So, but ideally, any application will not run without server, right?
Correct.
So might be AWS Lambda is using any server. So what is that?
No, no,
Is
don't have idea.
on which server it is going to deploy? Huh?
No, don't have idea.
Uh, how many years of experience you have as in DevOps?
5 years.
Right. Okay.
Hmm.
Chetan, do you have anything to continue
Yeah.
from your side?
Yeah. You are using which you are for the backup purpose or branching strategy? Which kind of branching strategy?
Yeah, so we are following the Git related branching strategy. So we have the dev UAT production as a separate branch, and in that it will contain the future branch. Like one is the master, and it contains the future branch. And whenever new feature has been created, it will going to create the new feature. And inside that we have like particular story related branches for the each developer.
Okay.
Mhm.
How many types of branches?
Uh, dev UAT in production.
Okay. And how many types of sandbox you are using in your structure branching strategy?
Yeah, same theme because we have the dedicated sandbox for each environment.
Okay. Okay. And have you taken any backup of any branches or anything automated?
Not as like a backup. So we are normally what we are going to do if you are going to create any branch, we have the dedicated environment already created for the particular GitLab structure, like for the particular project. So whatever commit has been happening in the particular branch only, and for the the master branch or main branch, they have the limited access for the particular users, and we have the basically pull request to merge. So we don't have any backup for that particular Git.
Yeah. If any user by mistakenly merge the wrong commit or wrong changes,
Mhm.
then what will be the action from your end?
Yeah, so we need to first analyze the issue, what exactly happened, and what file that has been merged. If it is a whatever files are there, we need to do the git revert, and we need to revert roll back to the previous commit.
Yeah, if it is already merged in your sandbox, then how you reverted from in your sandbox?
Yeah, so first of all, we need to check whatever changes has been completed. If it is a manual that we are able to update, then we are going to check that in the particular environment if we are able to update. If it is not, then we need to create a one fresh branch from the existing that is workable branch, and we need to do the changes and we need to merge it again.
How you can create the new branch from existing? Because in existing branch also we have the bad changes.
No, but there is particular commit from which the bad commit has been happened. So we can use the git cherry pick to pick the specific commit which is a workable commit. So from that we are able to pick and we need to merge that changes.
But you created the branch from the already, which is already corrupted branch, right?
No, not
So
corrupted. He said like if there is an issue for the after particular commit, then based on that previous commit we can able to do.
yeah, so let's say there was a bad commit happened and the branch has been committed. After that, 10, 20 commits has been done.
Mhm.
So what will be your revert strategy in that case?
Yeah, so we need to check for the each and every commit like what exactly issue has happened for the particular commit, and if it is easily revertable, then we need to revert one by one, and based need to find what are the changes that has been causing the issue, and based on that we need to fix and update the particular branch.
So is there any option to um, re, reset the branch
Yeah, using the git reset also we can able to reset that.
before any?
Git
Sorry.
reset with the git reset command we also reset that particular head of the branch to the whatever working commit.
Okay. So Chetan, I'm done from my side. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, no, I have also done my from my side. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
so Omkar, we are done from our side. Do you have any questions
uh,
for us?
no, no question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.